Hello, hello. Don't mind my doctor's handwriting. How are we today? Or should I say tonight? I'm not gonna. This is the Saturday night of the 7th. I'm probably not gonna put it out tonight, but whatever. So, the word of the day today is sovereignty. Sovereignty. Can you just let that into your fucking mind? Sovereignty. Honey, bitches got rights, okay? Bitches got rights. But not like regular rights or like going right. You have RITE right. Is that shop right? Your right to shop. But yeah, so let's get into this, all right? So, you are a spiritual being living a physical existence. So scientifically, energy can neither be destroyed nor created, only transferred or changed from one form to another. So let's say it again. You are a spiritual being living a physical carbon-based existence. Now, what I mean by carbon-based is what I like to call the flesh and blood sac. Your blood and bone sac. That's what I call it. Your blood bag. And so the energy that makes up you, has been around since the beginning of creation. But you are currently living in a physical state of existence. So let's define state. So state is defined as the particular condition that someone or something is in at a specific time. So you are a state. All right? So that was the preface. All right? So you're a physical being. Sorry. You're a spiritual being living this physical existence. All right? So let's look at the definition of sovereignty. The authority of a state to govern itself or a self-governing state. So you are this spiritual being. You've been around since the beginning of time, and now you're currently living this physical existence where you're on Earth in 2019 and you've been born as a baby. What sense does that make? You can't be a baby. That's like what? Like the beginning of your time? That's impossible. It's impossible that this is your first experience, people. And it is about that time that we start to be aware of it and acknowledge it and then honor it also. Honor the fact that you have what is a direct link to source. You have a direct link to spirit. That means that there can be no I am worthless. There can be no I am trash. There can be no everyone hates me. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that. Simply because any separating yourself from the group in any way, it's not real. It's being made to be seen as something separate than you. So I was telling my friend today, me and my friend Reginald, we went to the Guggenheim to see the Basquiat exhibition. And I mean, it was dope and everything, but we had a great conversation. And he was like, and I have to quote Reginald, so dope. He was like, creation cannot be separate from itself because it is itself in another form. So creation, the things that are created from energy, they cannot be separated. They can't be separate from that energy. All they can be is a different form of it. It is just like that, the law of thermodynamics that I read you. You can't be separate from it. So you telling me that you hate me because I'm black, or you hate me because I'm brown skinned, it's impossible for you truly to hate me. It's just that right now, your spiritual mentality, if that makes sense, is like of a 4-year-old. So a 4-year-old doesn't want to eat vegetables. It doesn't want, they don't want to be aware of something not tasting like candy, right? Something not being sweet or fun to eat. They don't want to, you don't want to be aware of that because it's not as tasty, right? It's not as fun to eat vegetables. However, you're just not acknowledging the, you know what I'm saying? You just ignoring something, it doesn't mean that it's not in your world. So you find something in your world and you're like, oh my God, that's different. And maybe fear is struck, but either way, you might form a separation. You form some type of emotion that makes you want to separate yourself from it. And that is when you have to learn. Many times today, what we are taught to do or what we have learned to do is fracture ourselves. So I was talking to my friend and I was saying, like, you are trying to separate from yourself. When you are 8 years old and somebody tells you, don't do that, but they tell you in a harsh way that it's not nice. So they tell you, because maybe they're annoyed, whatever the situation was, but they tell you in this harsh way. And so what happens is, in your head, because that was so harsh and you don't want to experience that again, your mind naturally says, oh, anything with this experience, I must separate myself from this. This is bad. I can't be that. You see? Because we're not being taught to honor what comes out of us naturally. No, we're being taught to learn the world, assimilate, and jump right in and act like a cog in the machine. I am here to tell you right now that the process that we know to be the awakening is nothing more than us realizing that we are not separate. Us realizing that this is just a blood bag. It has nothing to do with, you're not going to get Jaden Avery love. You're not going to cut me open ever and see depression or happiness or anger. You're not going to be able to do that. Why? Because I have the same body, the same physical carbon-based body that you do. You just have another form of the spectrum of different human bodies, human blood bag bodies, whatever. But we see that we are not truly separate. And, honestly, this is kind of what I wish to preach to everyone. I mean, I don't even want to say preach, but the message that I know I'm here to give to everyone is the message of oneness, and that anything else is just a mirage, really. It's like, it's false. It's just because the way that things are created, plants, the way that plants are, they are alive. A lot of time, I have a lot of plants in my house, and it all happened just this year because I learned that taking care of a plant and taking care of an animal are two different things, and these are two different things that I feel that every human needs to experience, because you have to experience someone or something depending on you for its life. You have to feed these plants every day, and it forces you to understand life in another form. That is what we're learning here, people. We're learning life in another form. And if you think about it, everything in our reality is discovering how it feels to be in another form. I have this saying where I tell people, let me see how much time I have left. We have left with each other. Oh my God, it's only been 10 minutes. I have this saying where it's like, because and I'm always going to be open about this. If you ask me this, ever in comments or whatever, I will gladly tell you the truth, because it is my truth. Crud, I forgot where I was at because I was speaking too much. I don't have an editor, so I'm going to pause until I find out. Yeah, I have this saying where I tell people that the time when you were new in class, Yeah, I always tell people this because I am indeed, textbook transgender. Um, I knew for a fact that what I resonate with has always been the feminine, um, in all facets of my life. And I already knew, like when I was 4, I was playing dress up with my cousins, and I would ask my grandmother for something sway. I didn't want to say a skirt because I grew up Jehovah's Witness, but I would ask her, "Grandma, can I get something sway?" And she'd put a cover around my waist, and we all knew what I was talking about. We knew without understanding my language, everyone knew what was going on. But either way, that's neither here nor there. And I'm very proud of who I am. No, I'm not transitioning, but fun fact, you don't have to transition to be transgender. All right, so this is what happened. I have this saying where I tell people, when you come into class and you're in 6th grade and you're new to school, let's say this is let's say it's 7th grade, right after, or is it 5th? Does elementary stop at 5th? Okay, whatever. You guys can tell me. Yeah. So you get into class, and let's say it's your new class in middle school, and you're just nervous. You're new, you're nervous, no one knows you. You can always pick things that could be wrong with your outfit, whatever. I always tell people, it's like you're trans in that moment. It's like you're transgender. It's like everybody experiences their hardship, and your hardship is equal to my hardship. Our hardships are even. There are some that are more exaggerated than others. And play out on the physical more than others. But to a large scale, when we suffer pain, I promise you, all of us are feeling the same goddamn thing. There is no one who is experiencing it more or less. It's just percentages of when you get what you get in karma. Because all of us are trying to learn what it is like to live in a different form. When I go down to this level of frequency and I live on the 3rd dimension in a carbon-based structured physical existence, will I still feel spirit? Will I still feel goddess? Will I still feel God? Will I still feel love and light? Yes, you do. Yes, you do get to experience happiness still. Yes, you do feel great moments. And yeah, we want to keep them going, but we shouldn't feel bad for that, for wanting to keep the great moment going. You should never feel bad for that. It's actually quite natural. I think this is basically all I wanted to explain. You are the state and are a self-governing state. Your authority is because... Oh, another thing I want to bring up is that with your sovereignty comes the fact that you have I think I did say this, but you have a direct link to source. There is no getting around it. It's more than praying. It's more than meditation. It's more than sex, because sex is a form of meditation, and eating is a form of meditation. Everything that you do, you're coming from a meditative state. Yes, our world teaches you to look around and get distracted, and look at all the distractions, look at all the physical things, look at the candy that you can put in your mouth, and distract yourself. But we all... I forgot where I was going again. God. I have the worst memory. And yeah, it might be because of pot, but guess what? My sovereignty says pot is fucking great for me. It's great for me. And I'm glad that thank you, Spirit, for bringing me back to that, because I'm like, you have the sovereignty in your hands. You have it in your hands because you are responsible to say what is good for you. Okay? Our world does teach us to look outside at the distraction versus inside, but I promise you, Hunty, I promise you, the second you look inside, instead of looking outside to the world to feel something new, oh, I have a headache, I gotta take a pill. Oh, I gotta, you know what? This night, I can't have fun unless I drink. It's a lie. It's a misconception. It's deception. Because the truth is that you can always have fun. You can always make a great time. You can always get what you need. But you have to look inside. You have to go inside to see the outside world. Because the eye does what? It deceives. Your eye will deceive you. A lot of times, and Abraham Hicks said this the other day, I was in the shower, she was like, oh, you think that there's like a, what is it called? Stick and reward program going on here? No one's trying to beat you. You bring through the law of attraction, you bring these things to yourself. There is no like, oh, if I do good, then this will happen. No, it's just a constant trying to learn how to exist in this form. That is what life is. That is what life is. Another thing about my channel that I really want to give to people is the gift of understanding how to read signs, how to read omens, and how to read creepy little coincidences that happen on a daily basis. How do you read these things? How do you say, okay, this is what the universe is trying to tell me? And I want to really teach you guys how to read those things. And honoring your sovereignty is a big part of it. It is, because you get to see that, look, this is good for me. I say what's good for me. I govern myself. And as you govern yourself, you have no need to be like, oh, I gotta get in front of you. I gotta cut you. All that, there's no need for the bullshit. Because it's separation. I'm different than you. Excuse me. No, you're not different. It's like snowflakes. There are no two that are the same, but when they are all together, a winter wonderland looks amazing. It looks so beautiful. Me personally, I love hot weather, and I do not like cold. I bitch every year, and I swear I curse New York up and down these streets during winter. But I love New York in the summer, girl. I love New York in the summer. It's so cute. But, I love how you guys are going to really like, with my memory, I'll come back to it eventually. Like, I'll be reminded. But y'all just got to know, my memory is crazy. Earlier at the park, we pulled out these cards. I'm not going to explain them. But, oh my God, it was just amazing. Because we had like the cutest little smoke sesh. Oh, okay. I thought I was about to do a card. Let's just do one card. 1 minute left on my little recorder. It does say 19 minutes, right? Wow, I talked to y'all for a long time. Let's see what this message is. Spirit, give us a closing message for this. Ooh. Oh, release the unexpected. Release the unexpected. So let go of what you think. Hold on. Okay? This is what it is. Release the bullshit. When someone told you that you weren't enough, release that shit, because it was not true. It was just not true. You release that and embrace the unexpected, because the unexpected can only be an extension of you, because there is only you out here to experience, y'all. There's only more of you out here to experience. Do you see the 7 up here? And then 27? 27th is my birthday. But 7 is spiritual knowledge, spiritual knowing. And then 2 is masculine and feminine. I love you guys. I love you so much. Oh, it's still recording. Thank you. Love to all, and I'll see you on the next video.